Three, two, one.
Hello, guys. Yes, welcome to Football Village. And yeah, guys, it is the Carabao Cup final. The Carabao Cup final is finally here upon us. The Gunners will be taking on Manchester City. Yes, at Wembley Stadium tomorrow, evening kickoff. And this game is a game that will go. It can go both ways. The Gunners could pick up the win. Manchester City could also pick up the win. I look at this game and I see a 50-50 game, a 50-50 chance for both teams. There's 50% chance for Arsenal to win. There's 50% chance for Manchester City to win. Now, if Manchester City lose this game, their season ends, as far as I'm concerned. Their season ends, as far as I am concerned. So they need to win. They need to win. If they lose, it is going to affect them psychologically. They lost against Manchester. They lost against Real Madrid, first leg of their Champions League game. Against West Ham, a game they should have won. They drew against West Ham. Against Real Madrid, second leg, they lost at home to Real Madrid, 2-1, albeit with a red card. But then, right now they are looking low on confidence. But then, it is Manchester City. I don't know if you understand, guys. It is Manchester City. We expect them to come out. We expect them to play their football. We expect them, to compete against this stubborn Arsenal side. You get? So, I feel they need to win. They will understand they need to win. And, they might not be playing well. They might not be getting the results they so much desire right now. But then we need to understand that the man on the dugout of a Manchester City is Pep Guardiola, the master tactician himself. He's tactically sound. Pep Guardiola is tactically sound. He tends to, play his team according to his opponents. He studies his opponents, and then he sets his team according to how how he feels his opponent is going to set up. So for that game, I believe we are going to be seeing one of Guardiola's masterpiece. The way he's going to set up his team is going to be very, very different. I'm very sure from Tuesday till now, he has been trying to, look at, okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? I'm very sure he has been racking his brain. He has been, just to get the best possible outcome for tomorrow's game. Now, that's on the Manchester City side. Now, let's come to the Gunners. It is, I think a lot of people do not understand how impressive the Gunners have been this season. I'm not saying this just because I am an Arsenal fan, but they have they've been impressive. When you look at a team that has played 49 games in all competitions, they've lost just 3, of those 49 games. And then you feel, wow, this is something else. I don't know if you understand, guys. They've played 49 games in all competition, and then they've lost just 3 of those 49 games. They've won so many games this season. And, majority of pundits, rival fans alike have been, talking about how they've been winning their games or how they've been playing their games. It's been boring. We saw one ex-Nigerian international, saying if they win the league, they cheated their way to win the league, all sort of rubbish like that. See, what they do not understand is the Premier League these days is very, very difficult. The way teams set up their teams is difficult. You just need to find ways to win, and that's what the Gunners have been able to do. They've been able to maximize their options. They are winning games with different ways. They are finding different ways to win games. You get set piece, open play. They are winning games, and that is what is important. That is the most important thing. The most important thing is you are winning your games, and that is what the Gunners have been able to do this season. Teams are sitting deep. Teams are not ready to come out. And then they just need to find ways to win, and that is what they are doing. Even when you look at the number of injuries they've had this season, it's crazy. to to fault the way they are playing, the way they are playing to win. It's crazy to fault them. You know, they've had numerous injuries this season. Almost all our first 11, almost all the Gunners' first 11 have been injured this season. You understand? So it is something that we just need to praise them for. And going into this Manchester City game, I feel the confidence is going to be there for them. But then they will know. They will know they are playing against Manchester City. Notwithstanding Manchester City they've not been at their best. But they know how dangerous that team can be. They have some crazy players. They have some wonderful players. Alan, Doku, Semenyo. They have Ryan Cheki. So many of them like that. Savinho. They have so many of them like that. Players that can change games. Players that can cause damage, that can do damage to any team. So I'm very sure the Gunners will have that at the back of their minds that although this Manchester City side have not been at their best, they are still one of the best team in the world. In world football, they are still one of the best team, coached by the best coach in world football, the best manager in world football. Yeah. So now I'm very sure that is also going to play in how the Gunners, how they set up and how they come out to play the game. I believe for me, I believe this game is gonna be a 50-50 game, and it's just going to be difficult for both sides. It is going to be difficult for both sides. But if the Gunners win this game, it's going to propel them for the remaining competitions. It's going to propel them, seriously propel them. The confidence is going to come out, and it will definitely propel them for the remaining competitions. So, guys, there you have it. It is Arsenal taking on Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final tomorrow at Wembley Stadium, evening kickoff. So, guys, let us hear your comments. If you think the Gunners is gonna win, drop a like. If you think Manchester City is gonna win, drop a dislike. And also, guys, comment. Drop a comment on the comment section. Let us hear how you feel. Let us hear what you think is gonna be the outcome of the game between Arsenal and Manchester City.